All right, what's up, guys? For anyone that doesn't know me, my name's Clint. I decided that maybe I should give this a shot, start doing some more videos, keep people updated on the car I'm building now. Backstory, I had a Chevy S10 and ended up having a pretty bad wreck. There's not much left of the truck. We decided to part everything we could off the truck, and out of nowhere I was searching for a new vehicle to build, and out popped up this 78 Dodge Colt, which probably pretty much no one knows what a 78 Dodge Colt is because there's about none of them around. So I scooped this car. It's already set up for an LS swap and a glide, and we're trying to fit my turbo kit in. So I figured I'd do kind of a build series throughout winter, keep people updated, and see where it goes from there. So we're headed over to Todd's house now. Todd's house is where I keep the car at because he's got a lift. He's got a little bit more garage room than me, and he does probably half of the work on the car throughout the season, if not more. Right now the motor is sitting in the car. We're waiting on a transmission, which I'm still trying to figure out what route I'm going with that deal. Turbo kit doesn't really fit, so Brad Jordan's going to be coming along, check some things out, try to get the old turbo kit semi mocked up to take the new setup. But the car's got a ladder bar suspension, it's got coilovers on all four corners, it's a full tube chassis car, so I got a really good deal on the car. We're just going through and kind of combing everything over that's there, figuring out what we need to continue through the build. But I'm hoping that we can be out by spring, hopefully on a dyno within the next 2 months. But the motor's got to come back out, get sent to the builders, because after the wreck I don't exactly trust it. The old transmission blew apart, so I'm wondering if the crank took some of that pressure when the bell housing shattered and shoved everything around. So we're pretty much gonna have that completely gone through. My turbo's getting sent back out to have that gone through and rebuilt, because we had about a pound of dirt come out the exhaust side of it. The electrical wise, our buddy Nick Butler is gonna help us wire everything up. I went to a Race Wire Solutions relay box and built automotive buttons, so everything's super simple, pretty much just connecting wires. I don't have to worry about loose connections like I did on my relay board. And I'm trying to think of what else we need to get done for this season. The fuel system, pretty much all of it was salvageable off the truck, so that's almost all bolted up. I got to put a cap on one and a vent on the top of the cell. Seat's not mounted yet. The steering column, I got to weld the spline up top for the column, but the whole linkage, pretty much steering linkage, it's got a pinto rag on it, all that shit's good and pretty much done. So a lot of our fab work and headaches have been made simple by buying this car that had most of the shit already done. All right, we just got the Todds. Looks like Brad's here already, so we'll go in, take a look at the car and show you what we got done so far.
Oh boy. Got the GoPro, not in my face.
Finally cleaning Todd.
Yeah.
He's old, like a dinosaur.
Yeah. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to say it.
Say what?
You know.
What am I gonna say?
Yeah, fucker.
For those that don't know, Todd built Gravedigger.
What is it? I thought it was Bigfoot. Oh no.
No, big.
Bigfoot's gay.
Oh, damn! This is fancy.
Damn
You
straight.
could only take it for so long because I'm cleaning shit out.
What do you mean you're cleaning shit out? Oh, apparently I made the place a mess. So, here's the car. It's tiny.
Tiny.
There's no room for activities.
Plenty of room for activities once you're in it.
Yeah, after you shoehorn yourself into it. Here's our base plate we made for all the electronics to sit. Our relay box.
Already spent $50 on a turbo kit.
What do you mean?
I bought the flat discs, and then I bought the fucking bandsaw blade that does stainless.
Sick.
So I don't burn this one up.
We have enough room for a fuel cell and a battery. That's about it.
Where'd he post it? It's on his Facebook. Or on the event page. It might.
Alright, so none of that one is planned. We started a couple things on the car, and then my buddy Andy Pays decided that we should just send it up there and get the fab work done first, which he was 100% right. And then that turned into basically getting all the fab work done. We ran into some issues with the front end because the original suspension on this car that I pulled off was a set of gas shocks, like $20 advanced auto shocks, welded to a set of AE86 spindles and Starion brakes. If you've never gone and looked online to find long travel parts like that, yeah, they don't make them. So we ended up, when I get the car on a lift, I'll show the underneath and stuff. We ended up doing Fox body control arms, shortened them 2 inches because this car is so narrow. And then we did 94 to 04 Mustang spindles and long travel Viking struts in the front. We did caster camber plates, pretty much changed all the front suspension out. But we got the hood on here now. We got Andy fabbed up the wing in the back. We got parachute all mounted up now. And then we didn't have a floor. So now we have, can't really see, it's dark in here, but the carbon fiber belly pan in here. We got a drive shaft tunnel. Brakes are mounted now, the throttle's mounted, seats in, pretty much down to doing wiring and plumbing. And then I got to build a transmission. That's just a mock-up transmission that's whooped all hell. But the I'll pop the hood now. All the turbo piping's all done, exhaust, which luckily most of that stuff was salvageable out of the S10. We just cut some pipes, moved some things around. I didn't have to spend too much on that, at least. We got our fender exit done, but pretty much all the, I mean, the main work was all suspension, redoing bars. The bars in the back were too small and needed to be braced. So when I get the car up on a lift, I'll show you all that. But for now, I think we're gonna pick away at the wiring. My buddy David Dean's coming up with some scales, so we're gonna scale the car and see where we're at for weight finally. So stay. All right, so I'm really bad at keeping track of things, and I was gonna start a time lapse and go through some things with scaling, but I got busy and never turned on the GoPro, so I'm sorry for that. I'm still learning how to do all of this, and I'm not the greatest with a GoPro or talking with a camera, so sorry for that. But we got the car scaled. I don't want to really give away weights yet. We're going to kind of keep that a secret for a little bit. But the car's on a lift now. You can see Mustang struts. They're Fox body control arms that were cut down 2 inches. We had to modify the bottom of the struts too, just because this car is so narrow. And then it took us, it took Andy probably a solid 2 days to get the bump steer down, just because this car is an absolute headache. But bump steer is pretty damn close to perfect, so I'm not complaining. And in the back, we started running some of the fuel lines and stuff here. They're still hanging, but got Viking double adjustables in the back. A lot of this upper bar area was bent, so Andy went through and braced some more up there. This anti-roll bar had to be modified because it was really janky. We went through and changed that. The radiators mounted underneath. We've got a fill cap, a little fill cap tube that sits up inside of the car now, so I can change the coolant if I want. I still got to add an expansion tank, but it's a start for now. And like I said, we started doing the fuel lines up top here. Most of this is leftover stuff from the S10, so we're gonna have to cut some stuff down. I'm gonna have to add more lines, but the whole deal was I wanted to try to use as much as I could from the salvage truck, because I had way too much money in that, and I wasn't trying to go broke this winter, even though that's already happened between fab work and parts that have came up out of nowhere with this car. The turbo set's low enough. We're gonna have to run a scavenge pump. I'm still trying to find some fittings for that to start mounting all, or pumping all that up. And then there's the bottom of our carbon fiber belly pan. But other than that, it's coming along. I mean, I still got to put a tranny together. Most of my parts in my Glide were salvageable, but you can see the case did not fare too well. There's a handful of cracks in the bell housing. Broke tail shaft off. Actually broke the front probably 3 inches of the yoke, well, the shaft on the yoke completely off. So I got to get an aftermarket case. I got to have my pump tested, but the rest of the parts inside of the Glide all look good. They were clean. Hardly looked like it got used, which that transmission was rebuilt, and I think we ran it 12 times altogether. What else? I think that's about it so far. We've still got all the wiring to do. I planned on doing that today, and then we got sidetracked playing around with the scaling and mostly just playing with the suspension, seeing where we could get for percentages, because obviously the car isn't done yet. It doesn't have a drive shaft in it. It doesn't have fluid in it. doesn't have everything done yet, so we can't get perfect, but we wanted to see how much we could play with the suspension, try to get the percentages around, and surprisingly we got it just playing around today. I think it's sitting at 56% in the front and 54 in the rear, which I'm not complaining being a tiny wheelbase car. I mean, you see everybody say they want 50-50 exactly. That's the magic number, but in something this small wheelbase, I feel like we want a little more in the front so that it's not trying to just immediately pop the front end up and want to wheelie backwards. We want to get a nice slow ramp in. But hopefully things keep moving smoothly. I'll try to keep updated with taking videos, even though I completely suck at this, but everyone kind of wants to know what's going on with this car, and I'm trying to keep people informed and maybe make a bit of a name for myself. And then I'll probably put a video out, I don't know, probably a couple weeks. I want to start tearing down into the Ford Prefect we're building too. I just got a motor for that. I'm waiting for it to be brought up here and dropped off. But I think that's pretty much it for now. Again, sorry I really suck at this. See you guys later.